There is a moment in every woman's life when she finally stops chasing. She stops chasing approval, perfection, and the need to be understood. In that moment, something extraordinary happens. She becomes still. And in that stillness, her power awakens. You see, strength is not found in shouting louder than your fears. It's found in the silence where you meet them face to face and still choose peace. Society often teaches women to prove their worth, to be strong yet soft, bold yet gentle, independent yet nurturing. But there comes a time when she realizes that balance doesn't come from pleasing both worlds. It comes from knowing herself. A woman who knows her worth is not arrogant, she's aware. She no longer confuses her value with her productivity or her beauty. She doesn't break under pressure. She bends like water, fluid, calm, and unstoppable. The power of such a woman cannot be measured by how much she endures, but by how little she allows to disturb her peace. Because when she understands her worth, she no longer reacts, she responds. She no longer runs, she rises. This is the journey from stress to strength, from self-doubt to self-mastery. Stay with me until the end, because by the time this message is complete, you will no longer question your power, you will remember it. When the world around you becomes loud, when the noise of responsibilities, expectations, and doubts begins to surround you, pause. Do not rush to silence it. Instead, learn to become the stillness within it. The storm will always exist outside, in people, in situations, in life itself. But strength is not found in resisting the storm. It is found in standing so calm that even chaos begins to move around you without touching your peace. Too often, we believe that strength means pushing harder, fighting back, or showing no weakness. But real strength is the opposite. It is quiet, it breathes slowly, it observes. When you stop reacting to everything, when you choose awareness over anger, clarity over confusion, you begin to master your energy. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. The stillness you feel between two breaths, that is your power. The mind will tell you that you must do more, achieve more, prove more. But the deeper truth is, you already are. You are not meant to live in resistance, but in rhythm with life. When you learn to be still, decisions become clear, emotions settle, and your presence begins to influence rather than react. Do not fight the chaos. Become so centered that chaos forgets how to reach you. This is the beginning of true strength, when nothing outside can disturb the quiet inside. When you find that stillness within, something beautiful begins to unfold. You stop asking for permission to be enough. You stop looking around, comparing your light to others, hoping someone will tell you that you are worthy. Worth is not a prize to be earned, it is a truth to be remembered. The moment you realize this, the endless search ends. You no longer chase validation, because you understand that nothing external can define what was already complete within you. Look around, the world constantly whispers, asterisk, you must be more. Asterisk, more successful, more beautiful, more perfect. But that voice is an echo of fear, not truth. When you know your worth, those words lose their power. You no longer bend yourself to fit into spaces too small for your soul. You no longer apologize for existing as you are. Imagine standing before a mirror and not seeing flaws to fix, but strength that has always been there, waiting to be acknowledged. That is awareness, and from that awareness, confidence grows effortlessly. Not the loud confidence that demands attention, but the quiet certainty that needs no audience. You start walking differently, speaking differently, even breathing differently, because now, your energy no longer depends on how the world sees you. You have become your own validation, your own source of value. This is the moment your inner peace starts to protect you more fiercely than any armor ever could. And from this awareness, a new kind of discipline begins to rise, not one forced by pressure or fear, but one born from respect for yourself. You begin to realize that consistency is a form of self-love. Discipline is not punishment. It is the structure that allows your inner strength to grow. Every morning you rise and choose to be present, to care for your mind, to guide your emotions, to direct your energy. That is how confidence is built. Many wait for confidence to appear before they take action, but confidence is not the beginning of the path. It is the result of walking it. Every small promise you keep to yourself, every time you follow through when no one is watching, your energy changes. You start to trust yourself, and that trust becomes your foundation, solid, unshakable. The undisciplined mind runs wherever the world leads it, reacting to every noise. But a disciplined mind knows when to stay still, when to act, and when to release. It no longer fights against time or people. It flows with direction and clarity. So, each habit, each mindful breath, each act of awareness is not meaningless repetition. It is a quiet training of the soul. Through this steady practice, strength becomes natural, confidence becomes effortless, and peace becomes your way of life. With this peace as your way of life, another realization appears. Strength also means knowing when to draw the line. Boundaries are not walls built from fear. They are gates protected by wisdom. When you begin to understand your worth, you stop allowing everything and everyone to enter your space freely. You learn to choose what nurtures your energy and release what drains it. There is deep power in the word *no*. It is not aggression, it is direction. It is the language of clarity. When you say no to what disrespects your time, your heart, or your peace, you are saying yes to your growth. Too many believe that kindness means always being available, always saying yes, always giving more. But kindness without boundaries becomes exhaustion, not compassion. When you set boundaries, you are not shutting the world out. You are teaching it how to meet you with respect. You stop overextending yourself to be understood, because now your calmness speaks louder than explanation. You begin to understand that every time you honor your limits, you strengthen your inner power. This discipline of self-respect transforms the way you move through life. You no longer seek balance from others, you create it within yourself. And through that balance, your presence changes. It becomes calm, firm, and beautifully unshakable. When you stand in this calm, firm energy, you begin to notice how pressure no longer feels like an enemy. Challenges arise, yet you do not shrink from them. You breathe, observe, and act with precision. This is grace under pressure, not the absence of emotion, but the mastery of it. The waves still come, but you have learned how to move with them instead of being pulled beneath. True grace is the ability to remain centered while everything around you shifts. It is the quiet strength that keeps you steady when others would break. When life tests you, and it always will, your response determines your growth. The one who has trained the mind to stay calm in heat and chaos gains a different kind of power, a strength that cannot be taught by comfort. Pressure reveals who you are beneath the noise. If you react, it controls you. If you observe, you transform it. Every trial becomes a lesson, every setback a mirror, every hardship a teacher. This is how resilience is forged, through the gentle art of staying composed while the world expects you to crumble. So when life becomes heavy, do not resist it. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and remember that storms do not come to destroy the strong. They come to remind you how deeply rooted you have become. When you realize how deeply rooted you have become, you no longer search outside for strength, love, or peace. You begin to understand that you are not a seeker, you are the source. Everything you once looked for in others has always existed within you. The approval, the comfort, the sense of belonging, it all begins in your own awareness. When your inner world is whole, the outer world simply reflects it. The woman who knows her worth no longer waits for the world to offer her peace. She becomes peace itself. She no longer hopes for love to complete her. She becomes love in motion. Every thought she nurtures, every word she speaks, carries the vibration of self-recognition. This is not arrogance. It is alignment, the realization that nothing external can add to what is already complete. When you stop seeking, your energy shifts, people feel it, life responds differently. You are no longer pulled by the need to be understood or accepted. You radiate clarity, and in that clarity, the right people, the right opportunities, the right moments begin to find you naturally. You move through the world not as someone who demands to be seen, but as someone who sees clearly. Every breath, every step, every silence becomes a reminder of the truth: you were never lacking anything. You were simply learning to remember who you are.